Hi guys, I'm Sid.
And I'm Vera.
Welcome to another episode of The Balanced Path. Today we are going to talk about how we are not satisfied with our jobs, how we need to biohack ourselves to live longer and more productivity, and also how we are each other's strength as well as weaknesses in this relationship. Okay? So yeah, you're my weakness, Vera. It's
Um,
like you're like kryptonite to Superman. Do you know this? You don't know this. Okay. Not a Marvel fan, guys. Oh, sorry. Not a DC fan. Shit, man. Sorry, DC and Marvel people. I've single-handedly, with one single statement, managed to make you both angry. But
take a
hey,
hit at both.
so you can basically imagine how much I am a fan of Marvel or DC. But
Hmm.
yeah, how are you, Veera?
I'm good. Currently figuring out if there's oatmeal on my face.
There is a little bit, but we'll get it out in the edit. But that being said, I really like your sweater.
Thanks. It's from Sikkim.
ये तेरी दादी ने बुना है?
Yeah.
मतलब, अच्छा, tell us a little about the sweater,
The
please.
sweater is from Sikkim. Not trying to,
From Sikkim. Oh my god.
not trying to sell
आपने
it.
डाली में लिया?
नहीं, but hand woven है. बचपन में पहनते थे. I saw it on the internet and I was like, okay.
It's
Like,
pretty cool, man.
yeah, it's very cool.
Is it like a local business over
It's a
there?
local business, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
think we should support local
It's
businesses,
called
right?
Biul Creations. I think that's what it's called.
I think we can give a link
We can give a link of
in the description, right?
yeah, in the
So
description.
this is very cool.
It is a very cool sweater. It's
So you
like,
ordered it
so I ordered it a month back.
online?
Online.
Ah,
And I didn't realize that it would take some time. But then I just realized that हाथ से सारा बुना हुआ है.
it takes time.
It takes
Oh,
time.
so they actually start making it when you order it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
तेरे केस पता है कितना उन्होंने आई थिंक जितनी भी उनके पास अलग अलग कलर्स बचे थे ना उन्होंने इकट्ठे करके
It's called a multicolored,
ये स्वेटर बना दिया ना
heart-shaped
did you give
knit
them
sweater.
did you give them a brief of what color you wanted or you
No,
were
they had a reference.
you
in
were
it.
as confused as but just kidding, this is nice sweater. Veera, please don't get angry with me, okay?
Yeah.
Guys, by the way, we're going to Gulmarg tomorrow. I just can't seem to keep my excitement in check. I've been talking to people in Gulmarg for the last 1 week, and I know that they're irritated with me because I'll call them after every 2 hours. और क्या चल रहा है? कहाँ पे हो? बर्फ पड़ गई? And like from them being enthusiastic for the first 3 days, what is happening now is they have stopped taking my calls. They even reject my calls sometimes, and when they do end up picking the calls up, because I call them like 10 times, they're like, हाँ, like, और फिर मैं आ रहा हूँ कल, and they're like, हाँ ठीक है, मिलते हैं. I'm like, बर्फ पड़ रही है, आप स्की कर रहे हो? हाँ किया, स्की किया, तो हाँ, कल मिलते हैं. Like literally they're like not interested, but hey,
I
I'm
don't
too
know.
excited.
I don't know about them, but I am certainly like irritated. Not borderline irritated. Like I feel like it's going to come out because it's just too much enthusiasm.
There's no such thing as too much enthusiasm.
Well,
guys.
10 calls a day is a little
No, it's
problematic.
not. This is me trying to control myself. And that's why it is
Well,
10
you're
calls.
not controlling,
Otherwise, I would
you're
be
very-
like on a call. I would put them on a call in the morning and सारा दिन मतलब अच्छा कहाँ पे हो? Like, I wish I could put like cameras on
but
them.
that's what you're doing with us because
Fine.
आज कल नहीं जाना परसों जाना है.
यार
So
मतलब
yesterday Siddharth the whole day was like कल गुलमर्ग नहीं जाना परसों जाना है.
Yeah, it was
बीच
like,
में एक दिन है.
हाँ, कैसे निकलेगा
And
वो
he
दिन?
said that after every, not even joking, half an hour, which was like frustrating. It
I also
was-
said it to random people. Now that I realize, since Veera's bringing them up, like random people are like, हम परसों जा रहे हैं, ये भी नहीं कि कल जा रहे हैं. And people are like, what the, what is he saying? Anyways, getting back to topic, getting back to track. I wanted to talk a little about job satisfaction. Now, what is job satisfaction according to you, Veera?
I think it's changed over the past few years. Initially, so somebody asked me this question when I was probably 22, 20. No, when Inqilab started, 2018, which is 6 years back. That what do you do? Like, what do you do for work? Like somebody, I remember I was traveling and it was like a random person, and they were like, "What do you do?" An older person. They were like, "What do you do for work?" And I told them that, "Oh, I coach, and I coach at Inqilab, and I'm a like yeah,
Part of the
basically,
team.
I just started. I just started out. It was literally like 6 months into coaching, and then they said, "Okay, so what do you do for your soul?" And I was just like, "I love what I do, so that's what I do for my soul." And I didn't understand that question. Then he asked me like many other questions, like what kind of a personality are you? Like, are you a type A or a type B? And like many questions he had. I never thought about it so deeply then, but now that I think about it, I think what he meant was like, what is your passion? Like, what do you do to you do it just sure out of passion and love, and what is something that you do financially to make sure that your means are met and that you're living a comfortable life. So obviously, I think back then, 6 years back then, I didn't really understand that question. But I feel like now I can probably answer that question a little bit deeper. I think you do something which is pure business, which is pure dhanda,
Okay.
nothing else. It basically helps you be financially stable and also empowers people around you, and you basically just grow.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be like, you and the business are two different identities.
Okay.
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 Whereas when I say, and there is something that you, I think, do for your soul, I believe that you do something for your soul, which is basically like something that you truly love, and there is some sort of satisfaction that you're getting from doing that work. It doesn't have necessarily have to be monetary. So
Okay.
for me, coaching was that.
Coaching was the
It's
dhanda
still
or the passion, the soul?
the passion,
Okay.
the soul. Like, it was always about, okay, like, I still feel that, like, you see that with my when I coach my friends, like, it's so exciting every morning to like just see them, even if they get their first pull-up, which like all of them are now, by the way, getting. Like, everybody can do a single pull-up. We started from no pull-ups to like everybody doing one pull-up, which makes me really excited. And like for me, like, I feel like no level of money could give that level of satisfaction that I get, or that happiness that I get looking at them progressing from forward. And I feel like that is something now that this person, if I meet him again and he asks me this question, like, I think I'll be
You'll
able
be better
to,
prepared.
yeah, I'll be better prepared to answer this question.
Nice. So coaching, you're saying, is for your soul. There is no soul.
There is
though.
no soul, but
But
like I obviously wanted to
but
like,
what is like job? If you're saying that job is your hospitality business, right? Your restaurants. Like, what is satisfaction there? Like, what? How do you go back in the evening after days of work, sit down, be like, okay, you know what? Today was a good day. What does that define? Like, is it that
I don't know. I've reached a stage where like there I'm fully satisfied.
there is no job satisfaction
There is
for
no
you?
job. I don't think that,
What do you think? When do you
because
think we will be satisfied? Like, do you
I
have-
don't think there comes a time that you'll be ever satisfied, because I think, like, again, going a little deeper, there is nothing known as job satisfaction. Like, you'll never be satisfied with anything, because you, like, human nature is such, right? That you always want for more. You always want something else. एक चीज, like, for example, small example, you wanted to buy this phone, okay, till you didn't have the phone, you were not satisfied, or like you desired to get something.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm making sense, but once you have it, doesn't mean that your wants or your needs or whatever it is gets satisfied. So I feel like job satisfaction, मतलब ये सब बहुत मैनेजरियल टर्म्स हैं या मैनेजमेंट टर्म्स है. जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन मेरे हिसाब से होनी चाहिए कि आपके साथ जो लोग काम कर रहे हैं या जो आपकी टीम में काम कर रहे हैं, उन्हें job satisfaction feel होना चाहिए. Like, they feel like they're growing, they're not feeling bound in like a, like a room, and they're feeling कि हमें बस एक रूम में फंसाई जा रहे हैं. Not letting them move out and flow is, I don't know.
is that is their job satisfaction your job satisfaction?
You could say that, yeah. Like, I would not want to come to a business where like there are grumpy employees and
There
they're
you go, okay.
feeling. I don't like to use the word employees, because I feel like even I am an employee. I'm not the employer. I feel like there's a company you're working for the
Company
company.
is the employer.
Company is the
You're-
employer.
you're an employee,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm an employee of the company. Very simple. मेरा तेरा कुछ नहीं है. Like it's just like everybody's. They should feel.
मेरा तेरा कुछ नहीं है वीर.
I mean, like when it comes, like you and I, we're not. A lot of people start relating themselves to the businesses that they run, right?
Okay.
So when they start thinking that they are the business, then also I feel like वो तो downhill ही है.
Okay, when they try to put themselves.
या कि मेरी वजह से हम इस मुकाम पे पहुंचे हैं या मेरी वजह से ऐसा हुआ. So I feel like I think job satisfaction if you really ask me this question and you're pushy about it, I feel like if all the employees of the company are satisfied with how the company is moving forward, that is job satisfaction. But in the true sense, there is no job satisfaction.
That's a double-edged sword answer. But okay, so when your employees are satisfied, whether it is that they're getting regular hikes or they are working in a good environment, or if the company is progressing, you're satisfied.
Yeah.
Company progressing means like the P&L has to show a positive,
Absolutely.
has to show a
absolutely.
percentage of increase every year, every quarter, whatever, right?
Yeah, and also like since we run a restaurant business, I feel like सब कुछ मतलब very transparent है. सामने ही दिख जाता है कि if people are happy or not. Like the reality check is always there. Like there'll be somebody, there'll be that one person that will not be happy, and that one person who's not happy, thank God for that, because that makes us understand what we are lacking and how we can build onto it.
Right.
And make sure that the next time this client comes does not feel like this, you know. So
So you're saying that I was trying to actually, in my mind, have two headings of job satisfaction, and one was monetary satisfaction,
right.
and the other was like you said, for the soul, not for the soul, maybe like your mental satisfaction as to like, okay,
Pretty much, yeah.
है ना? So I was trying to like, I think it is in your dhanda, it is obviously has to be monetary. You can't say, oh, we're running a restaurant, but we're in losses or we're breaking even, and we are going to do that for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is not healthy for the company, for the employees, or to you, right?
और a relationship like घर जाके बोलेंगे अच्छा रेस्टोरेंट नहीं चल रहा पर हम बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. Obviously like you'll be like what the hell, I'll be like what the hell, and ultimately there will be some level of frustration, and then you know.
So you're saying that yes, there has to be monetary increments of the company, personal, employee, and also has to be a sense of satisfaction where you feel you've done something
Right.
in this day, in this month,
Absolutely.
in these years. Okay, it's pretty interesting. I actually I come from a semi-business family, so I won't. I would say that initially when I started working, first of all, I never thought I'd run a business. It was always like, okay, I'll go get a job somewhere. There was no real clear path of ki, you know, if you're born in a business family, it is very like evident. Either you are going to open a business and you know exactly what to do, कैसे क्या करना है, कैसे उसको scale करना है, because you've seen it happen at home with your parents and stuff like that. For me, like I did see a very brief phase of it, but I wasn't like, okay, this is how it's done. It was never clear. So for me, like the job started. My first job was actually as a assistant to a photographer because I wanted to become a photographer in Bombay. 3 months I worked. I was like, यही इच्छा है, यही करना है, कैमरा लेना है, पैसे इकट्ठे करके और फैशन फोटोग्राफी करनी है. After 3 months I was like, not for me. I just stopped going. And obviously my employer was like, you know, where are you?
Where
And
are you? Yeah.
there was a whole hue and cry about that. After that, I think I was always into fitness. Found CrossFit, started doing CrossFit until one of my friends, like very close friends, and your friend Vishwas said, why don't you start working as a CrossFit coach? Because clearly this is what you want to do. I was like, oh, ye bhi ho sakta hai. So there was no real like, you know, inclination or plan from my side. I started working as a CrossFit coach, started making a little bit of money. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Cut to Inqilab happened, and it was all passion. Never thinking about कितने पैसे बन रहे हैं, कितने पैसे जेब में जा रहे हैं, कितने पैसे बिजनेस में लग रहे हैं, क्या खर्चे हैं, कुछ नहीं, नथिंग. बस क्यों? पैशन 5 घंटे खड़ा कर दो, 10 घंटे खड़ा कर दो, बस हम खड़े हैं भाई. क्यों? पैशन ही इतना है. एंड दैट काइंड ऑफ रियली काइंड ऑफ ब्रॉट पीपल टू अस. क्यों देखने नहीं आते सी कि यार इतने पागल भी लोग हैं, मतलब सारा दिन एक्सरसाइज करते रहते हैं, कराते रहते हैं, थकते नहीं है, मतलब यू नो वी वर ईदर लाइक ईटिंग और एक्सरसाइजिंग और मेकिंग पीपल एक्सरसाइज और स्लीपिंग. दैट्स इट.
I'm barely sleeping.
Right? And then obviously this went on to a point where we started understanding that, hey, I want to buy this thing but I don't have money, or I want to go on this trip, I don't have money. Oh, let's look back at why I don't have money. I spend 8 or 10 hours in this business that I'm doing. Let's look at this business. Oh, this business isn't really making money.
Yeah.
On the fluff of it looks great. Okay, you have X clients, they pay you X amount of money, you get X money. No, there are kharchas, there are X. That is when it started dawning on me. That is when passion
Yeah.
took a back seat, and I was like, यार मतलब यही करूँ अब, ये पैशन है, इसको छोड़ भी नहीं सकता. कि डू आई सिट डाउन एंड अंडरस्टैंड कि अब इसको क्या करें, स्केल करें तो कैसे करें, मतलब हाउ डू, देयर वाज जीरो मतलब थॉट्स एंड
Right.
ideas in mind कि अब आगे कैसे बढ़ना है.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm trying to say is that yes, passion is something that you should follow, and these days a lot of people are following their passion. That is great, but have a business strategy to go with it. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
you are going to hit a wall. That passion is going to, that beautiful thing that you call passion is going to be like this big rock on your head. उसको ना फेंक सकोगे, ना उठा सकोगे, ना मतलब कुछ भी नहीं कर पाओगे. It will become
Yeah.
something that you love will actually become something that you start hating. Okay, and when that happens, this is the, I call it the passion curve. So passion curve goes up like this, but there is a time where it will become stagnant, and when it starts dipping down, before it goes all the way down, find a business strategy here. Anything in the world can be scaled, anything can be done to make money. That is as simple as that. Find the right mentors, which is what we did, and eventually we diversified, opened restaurants, online training, coaching. So yeah, job satisfaction has to have a business involved to it if it's a business, because धंधो है ना जो धंधो एंड ऑफ द डे भाई प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस है, क्या बन रहा है क्या नहीं बन रहा. ठीक है, पैशन वैशन इज ग्रेट, बट वो P&L महीने के एंड में बैठो, देखो अगर पैसे नहीं बन रहे भाई कुछ गलत कर रहे हो. ठीक है, कम बन रहे हैं तो भी गलत कर रहे हो.
Always that check that is there.
हैज टू बी ना.
Has to be. मतलब reality अगर वो आपके पास नहीं है ना, तो आप एक डिलूलू हो, और आप एक
डिलूलू हो आप, है ना,
delusional world
हो
में
आप.
रह रहे हो.
हाँ.
And I feel like I remember like I didn't hit that wall. Our timings of hitting the wall were not the
थोड़ा
same,
आगे पीछे.
because I feel like I also so I feel like I was also doing something else along with, like I would say like I was silently present in the hotel business. Like I was doing things that needed to be done. I did not know more, so according to me I was doing the job that I was doing. I was doing the audits that I needed to do every month, which were just which were like, now that I think of it, like it was baby work. Like it was like I was just seeing what is coming in and making sure that this is what is accounted for, and just like it was just something basic. So that was my source of income also, along with Incolab. So that is why initially, I've never said this, but I've told you this, that the first time that I got paid at Incolab, like I realized that, okay, this is too less, and I'm getting the same salary as like
Other employees who are not really putting in the work
no,
that you're
other
putting
employees. The first time
Yes.
actually I was the only person, and there was another, like there were some other employees. Yeah.
in, है ना.
Huh. So that's when I was just like, something is not okay. But that was very soon. Then I realized, and I gave myself logical explanation, which was that basically that there is something that I'm learning out of this. Like it is not just mere like monetary. Like I reasoned with myself, and I'm actually because Sid is just like, you didn't have like a monetary level of satisfaction with Incolab, so why did you continue or in the beginning? So I was just like, there was so much that I got to learn. I grew as a coach. I learned so many things. I remember that so initially we were of course interns, and it is very daunting to take a class of like 15, so you start with like 8 people, then 10 people, then 15 people. Like the biggest class probably I've taken is like maybe 40 people. You
Which
know,
is
like one
crazy.
of the
Yeah.
festival workouts, which was crazy. But like by the time I took that 40 member class, I was very confident and I had a system of how to do it. But of course, everybody looked at the class, but I know what went through like designing the system, which was basically like Sid would take a class, and my level of like taking a class was like, okay, he takes such an amazing class, he's an amazing coach. I want to just be, you know, like up to his standard, or like coach as well as him, you know. um, that was my benchmark. So he would start taking the class, and I would start and take notes on how you're taking the class. Like
Oh.
I would break it down, and I'm like, okay, warm up, he did this, and I would understand, okay, this is how he's taken the warm up. Then I would write down. Initially, like weightlifting was also like khud aati thi, but to teach is something completely different, you know.
Agreed.
To be an athlete is different, to coach is something different.
Two very different things.
Two
Yeah.
very different things. So then I would break down the process, and then I would write it down, and then I would, you know, go on to the other thing, and I would write it down, and then and my class used to be the last class, which was basically 7 a.m. just Sid, 8 a.m. Jassa, 9 a.m. Sid, and 10 a.m. Vera. So I would have seen 3 classes by the time it was my turn. So I learned everything from looking at you and Jassa, and then I would just like, okay, like put it down, and I would just be like, okay, now I think I can deliver the best. And I think that's how I grew as a person. So you bring in any athlete, like I've trained many, and I think the most exciting was like Sajan was the most exciting athlete, because I was just like, okay, like this is something basic. Just because, you know, somebody is differently able doesn't mean that you can't coach this person. Then I don't know if you remember, there was Ayush, he could not see.
Yeah.
And he was like could not see properly. So I remember coaching him, and he genuinely did really well while I was coaching his class. So it really gave me a lot of like confidence, and also had me enjoy my job. And I think that in the true sense was job satisfaction.
Nice.
And yeah, and here also, like here I don't take myself too seriously in the hotel business, because it's a very it's a very dodgy is the right word, business, because you know, sometimes when you're doing really well, everybody's like, oh, you know, like your food is great and everything is great. If you become complacent na, and usually that happens, that's when things start going down
That's
the
with
hill.
any business, right?
Yeah, that's for any business. But like यहाँ पे मतलब ज़्यादा सिर पे नहीं लेना कि आप अच्छा कर रहे हो. यहाँ पे मतलब अपने आप को नहीं बोलने देना कि जॉब satisfied हो, because जब तुम satisfied हो जाओगे तो कुछ गड़बड़ है. तो
तो
that
गड़बड़
that scares me. So like I'm always like looking out for like what is to fix, what is to like be repaired. And yeah, that's my...
I think that is your job satisfaction, like constantly trying to make your product better is how you get satisfied.
Yeah.
And you know that it can't be perfect, and
Yeah.
you found something that keeps on going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
till
yeah.
the business goes
Yeah.
on, till you go on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I think that's a good way of looking at it. But yeah, I mean, from your first class to your recent classes, you've grown. Like I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of people. I've
And you're not saying this because we are married. Or are you?
Maybe I am, but no. On jokes apart, and I've seen coaches who wanted to learn and wanted to grow. They have grown and they have known. That's a rhyme. And I've also seen coaches who got the same training, the same exposure, the same knowledge, so-called, and they never wanted to grow, and they are still doing what they were doing 5 years back. So I think when you say that satisfaction, being complacent, is a hindrance to success, a hindrance to growth. The day we feel we are the best podcast in the world, when we start actually feeling it, I mean, I can say it, we are the best. The day I start feeling it and say, okay, yehi hai jo hai,
Yeah.
it's time where we take a dip, है ना? So yeah, I think that makes sense. Ah, that was a deep conversation. So I wanted to talk a little about the imposter syndrome, which goes hand in hand with you being satisfied or not. We're cutting this out, not talking about this, because talking about this will be doing this exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But we can tell.
yeah, I mean, our next topic was that how everybody out there, because these days there are a lot of like social media channels, right? There's YouTube, there's Instagram, TikTok in the States. Everybody wants to preach.
Everybody wants to be a someone.
That is something I think, yes, goes hand in hand, but preaching is something like, you should do this. Hey, you have to be this.
Hence
You
preaching.
have to. Exactly. But I think talking about preaching would actually be preaching. Would we be preaching? Saying that don't preach, that is also
I think we
preaching,
can just cut it out.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why we don't want to preach. So there you go. Imposter syndrome. Do you know about this?
Why don't you go ahead?
So
I
this
don't know
happens-
about
this
it.
Is this has happened to me multiple number of times, and I didn't know what this feeling was. Why I kept going back into this after a couple of months years, until I actually found there is something called the imposter syndrome, where at a certain point of your career, your job, you feel like you really even know what you're doing. For example, initially when I started taking CrossFit classes, I used to stand, say, okay, getting ready for class, and I used to be like, do I even know how to coach? Am I even good enough? Like, should I even be coaching 10 people? Am I even giving them value? You know, always self-doubting myself.
Yeah.
Right? So that is imposter syndrome. Like, and that's happened like nth amount of times. When I got my first celebrity client, I was like, bhai, matlab, I don't know how to do this. What do I make this person do? Do I even know what they need? Do I even know? Do I even have the skill to train them? Afterwards, realizing that human beings, regardless of whether they are celebrities or not, have
Have
similar right
Anatomy.
anatomy, and like train X would be the same way you would train Y. So imposter syndrome, like, is something that can really wear you down. It is the complete opposite of what we talked about being complacent, being like apne se upar bhai koi hai hi nahi. That is one extreme. Imposter syndrome is you're down here saying that we don't know anything. I
I
don't know
also,
anything.
sorry, I'm cutting you. I also feel like both come from a level of like self doubt comes when you feel like you don't know enough.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that you think that you don't know enough
Yeah.
leads to imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you know you've done your preparation,
Yeah.
if you know you've done your bit of experience, your bit of, fighting in the trenches, to put it that way, you should be confident enough to kind of understand that,
Yeah.
okay, I can do this. It is like telling yourself that, no big deal. I'm bringing this up because recently when I started my online coaching business, I was like, do I even have the skill to coach someone online? Would I be able to even do it? Am I giving people a good service? Not realizing that I've been doing this for the past 15 years, just not online.
Yeah.
Right? Until that dawned on me, I was like, okay, it's the same thing, but oh, now it's much more convenient because I don't have to be at one place where my client also has to come at that time. I also have to come. So there's a place, there's a time, so much restriction.
Yeah.
Right now, I can
Geographical
just be like
location.
online, okay, do this. You can do this anytime, anywhere. This is how you do it. And that person can also have their own time and place of doing it. But initially, I was like, I don't think I'm worthy of doing this. So that's when I recently, I think it was a podcast by Gary V, old school, OG, GOAT, and it was something about like sales.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, you can only sell something if you believe in your product. As simple as if I want to sell you this phone, if I don't believe this is a good product, it will show in my face. You'll be like, kuch to gadbad hai. And this
Yeah.
is something that happens psychologically. You won't even have to be a pro at, understanding these things. But if I say, okay, this is a great phone, so you should really buy it because I think the condition is new and the color is something.
Not
I have to
authentic.
really believe in this product, and once I believe in it, what I say is automatically from my heart and not a constructed story in my mind, and I'll automatically be able to.
Sell the product.
But I can only do it if I believe in it, right? So I had to first believe in my online coaching service to understand that, okay, you know what, this is of value, this is that going to change somebody's life, and this is something that I know how to do. Only when these things were done could I actually genuinely talk to somebody about this and say, okay, you know, this is something that will work for you.
Yeah.
So have you ever faced imposter syndrome?
I think I face it not all the time, but I think the last time I remember was, I think 6-7 months back. I don't know if you remember this one day at work, and I was just like, I have nothing to do. I don't know what to do. Because if you remember, like from initially, like I would, tally all the things that come and go in every day, and sanction a lot of what do you call payments and do all those things. And then when I started stopped doing that, I was just like, what should I do now? Like, like nitty gritties, I would be into the nitty gritties every day. Like, name it, and I was doing it. And when I stopped doing it, I was just like, अब मतलब मैं क्या करूँ, मुझे तो कुछ और आता ही नहीं है करना. What should I do? Took a while. I think it took a while to make myself understand that the team is worthy
enough to do it.
Not worthy, but like they know this better than you.
Agreed.
And they have been doing this, and just to let go of like certain responsibilities that you've done, and doesn't mean that you have to carry on doing them forever. There are some things that you keep doing it and you don't even realize it, you don't enjoy them, but you do it out of habit, and it's okay to let go. So I feel like I had that stage where I had to sort of let go of doing everything by myself. Also, if you remember, initially it was very hard when everybody was just like, you need to give more energy now to stop coaching and to the other part of the business, because that's what requires more of your time at the moment. And that was a very hard, like I was just like that. Those, I think, initially when Zoka started, I think that those were the hardest times of my life. No, actually no, hardest times of my life. ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा deep हो गया. इतना hard नहीं, but मतलब confusion था. I had what do you call existential. Oh my god, I can't say it.
मेरी तो जीभ अड़ गई. But you also know you're an overachiever, right?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you're an overachiever. You want to do everything your way, and as long as it's not done that way, you are not satisfied. Which is why you used to micromanage everything. And once you stopped doing that, you were like, oh, I don't have work only now. Not that those things are not being done. They are probably done better. But this is what we've realized as well. Whenever we are over here podcasting, let's say we are here for 1 hour, phone is switched off. The world is going on. Nobody is stopping. Our work is going on. Orders Zoka में जा रहे हैं, right? Accounts वाले अपना काम कर रहे हैं और बहुत अच्छे से कर रहे हैं.
आज संडे है, वैसे अकाउंट्स ऑफिस बंद है,
फिर भी काम हो रहा है. सी, अकाउंट्स ऑफिस ही बंद है, फिर भी काम हो रहा है. ये नहीं कि रुक गया जी एक दिन संडे के लिए Zoka बंद हो गया बिकॉज अकाउंट्स ऑफिस बंद है. नहीं, लाइफ गोज ऑन. बट इफ राइट नाउ अकाउंट्स ऑफिस अगर खुला होता, अगर हम दोनों चले जाएं, तो
तुम पॉडकास्ट नहीं कर सकते.
नहीं, 10 सवाल होंगे उनके. ये कैसे करें, ये कैसे करें. ये सारे डिसीजन तो उन्होंने खुद ले लेने हैं बड़े अच्छे से. उनको होगा चलो एक बारी कंफर्म कर लें.
No, that happened recently, like 2 days back.
Yeah, like some random thing where like with you also, with me also. Like there's also some construction going on, and obviously there's an architect, there's a ठेकेदार, right? There's a carpenter who's doing his thing, there's a plumber. अपना काम कर रहे हैं. अगर मैं वहाँ चला गया तो प्लम्बर ने कहना ये टूटी कैसे लगाएं. ओ यार, तो जितना लाई दी होंगी तो ला दो. So the more initially I was also like कि वहाँ आ गया, ये सीधी नहीं कटी भाई, यार वो टूटी नहीं सही, वो पाइप ये कहाँ से डाल दी. यार आई हैड टू स्टेप आउट ऑफ इट. आई वाज लाइक नहीं
yeah.
भाई, मैंने कंस्ट्रक्शन में नहीं आगे बिजनेस बढ़ाना है. आई वी हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ अदर थिंग्स. लाइक दिस पॉडकास्ट इज समथिंग दैट वी वेरी रियली वांट टू डू. ऐसे तो कभी टाइम नहीं निकलेगा. सो माइक्रो मैनेज करना बंद किया. और
Micromanage
ऑल्सो
करना
मोर
बंद.
कॉन्फिडेंस
And also I feel
given
like,
to your employees.
more confidence given to the employees. They are taking decisions that earlier they had to ask you for. Of course, I'm not saying that the whole control has been given, but everything is in an informed manner, which is amazing because they are getting to learn so much, and you are also getting to do more. Like at least we have, अगर वही करते रहते तो टाइम ही नहीं मिलता कुछ और करने का. Not just podcast, like even like think about like new things that we want to do, and new places we want to discover. Like I haven't gotten out of
Like we're going to Gulmarg tomorrow. Oh my god.
haven't
कितने
gotten
घंटे
out
रह
of
गए हैं?
the funny thing that happened recently was that Sid and I were going for a wedding, and so there's a overbridge that has been made near Rama Mandi. Anybody from Jalandhar? And I was just like, अच्छा ये खुल गया. And Sid is just like, कितने महीने से तो बाहर नहीं निकली है
Exactly.
शहर से. And I was like, yeah, it's been a while. Like I don't remember the last time I traveled because
Work.
no, because it's a bubble na.
अपने
Once
bubble
you
में
don't
खुश है.
get out of it, you don't realize. And I'm very happy in my bubble.
पर हम गुलमर्ग जा रहे हैं.
कल
लेकिन हमारे पीछे से ज़ुका क्या बंद हो जाएगा? ज़ुका क्योंकि हम तो होंगे नहीं होगा ना. थैंक यू अभिषेक जैन फॉर बीइंग a part of our team. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I don't think we can function without him.
We can't.
I don't think
I'll
क्या
say,
हम
100%.
हमारे बगैर सब हो सकता है.
हाँ.
अभिषेक के बगैर कुछ नहीं हो
इसके
सकता.
बगैर फिर भी शायद ना हो. मेरे बगैर सब कुछ हो सकता है. Nobody really misses me.
हमने वो
This is a good
एक्सपेरिमेंट
thing.
कर लिया.
हाँ, एक्सपेरिमेंट कर लिया.
I
मेरे
think हर 2 महीने में ना दोनों, like you did a 3-month experiment, right? You went to Bombay. Now I think next 3 months Abhishek should do it.
he will not be able to. वो 3 hour एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं कर सकता. उसको बोलो 3 घंटे काम नहीं करना. वो he says कि जब तक कोई टेंशन नहीं ना दिन की तो उसको मज़ा नहीं आता काम करने का. इट्स लाइक दैट कि 2-3 चीज़ां चल रही हैं, उन्ना गल चल रही है, आग पंगा पै गया. that is very like
That is
blossoms.
job satisfaction for
That
him.
is very blossoms. like वो कमल का फूल होता है चीकड़ में से. like जब तक वो चीकड़ नहीं है वो कहता है यार मतलब मज़ा नहीं आ रहा. like literally that. like बहुत बारी हमने कोशिश की कि भाई तू हॉलीडे चले जा. वो हॉलीडे जाएगा 2 दिन के लिए. और बंदा थाईलैंड जाके आया 2 दिन के लिए. मतलब यार रह नहीं देता. इससे अच्छा है ना यूट्यूब पे ज़्यादा थाईलैंड दिखा सकते हैं वो रादर देन एक्चुअली स्पेंडिंग मनी. बट ही लव्स इट. वो 2 दिन क्या किया उसने?
फोन
पे काम. यहाँ पे बंदा जोमेटो के ऑर्डर ले रहा है.
The funniest is
वहाँ
like
yacht में.
there was some issue, and so like there was some issue that I had with the team that he handles, and I'm like Paru, this happened, and Paru is Abhishek, and when I say this to him, and he's just actually your team also this happened, and I was like what? And he's like yeah, I was sitting there and looking at the camera. I was like what?
थाईलैंड में बैठ के.
I was like, what? Then we laughed it off, but I was just like, why were you sitting and looking at the camera? He's like, because I was looking at the camera. Like, I like to
यार
keep a check. It's like, Big Boss के घर में आपका स्वागत है.
परू चाहते हैं कि ये बंदा यहाँ से उठ जाए. क्रेजी है. अच्छा जी, a question from one of our followers is like the question is how are you each other's strength?
Right.
तो तू शुरू कर मेरी तारीफ करनी.
तू शुरू कर
मैं
मेरी
करूँ?
तारीफ करनी.
यार मैं सच में बताऊँ how are you my
If
strength?
you're going to make it very emotional, please
नहीं
tell me.
इमोशनल नहीं है. मैं ऑनेस्टली सीधी बात बताता हूँ. मैंने सीखा क्या तेरे से.
अच्छा
है ना?
ठीक है. हाँ.
और क्या तुझे देख के बोला कि यार ये बिल्कुल नहीं करना चाहिए तो ही खुशी मिल सकती है लाइफ में. नहीं, जोक्स अपार्ट, आई थिंक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन,
Thanks.
प्लानिंग,
Thanks.
ठीक है, ये मैंने चीज़ें तेरे से सीखी हैं. मैं आई वाजंट ऑर्गेनाइज, आई वाजंट
You
प्लान.
think I'm organized?
यू आर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड व्हेन यू वांट टू बी,
Okay.
राइट? मतलब आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, लाइक work is organized for you and your exercise regime is organized, your exercise related things are very organized, and also planning obviously. Also something that I really feel that you bring to the relationship is instinct. You're very good at, you're very instinctful, as in जो होता है ना कि यार फॉर एग्जांपल गुलमर्ग जाना था, ऑप्शन थी कि 30th को जाना है, 20th को जाना है. वहाँ वाले बंदे कह रहे हैं 3rd को आ जाओ. ये कहती नहीं 5th को जाएंगे. I don't know why, instinct. So आई ऑलवेज लाइक टू गो विद हर इंस्टिंक्ट. कभी कभी मैं फंस भी जाता हूँ. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स द परफेक्ट डे टू गो बिकॉज बर्फ़ पड़ गई है, लाइक एवरीथिंग इज सेट, रिजॉर्ट खुल गया है, लाइक विल बी देयर एग्जैक्टली when we should be. So instinctually कोई word
I
है?
don't think it's instinct. It's like I did some research and I saw. The
कर ली
thing
अपनी
is
तारीफ.
कि नहीं instinct.
पहले मेरी बारी है ना,
हाँ,
तू नहीं
ठीक है,
बोल
ठीक
सकती
है,
बीच में.
ठीक
सो ये दैट इज़ व्हाट आई फील यू ब्रिंग टू द रिलेशनशिप. तेरे से मैंने ये चीज़ें सीखी है और तेरे से मैंने ये भी सीखा है कि लाइफ में टेंशन नहीं लेनी. एंड दैट इज़ बिकॉज तू बहुत ज़्यादा टेंशन लेती है. लाइक ये भी सीखा है मैंने. आई हैव सीन यू फ्रेट ओवर वेरी स्मॉल स्मॉल थिंग्स. अरे यार वो पिलो टेढ़ा है, सांस नहीं आ रहा, मतलब. एंड आई हैव रियलाइज कि ओके यार, यू हैव टू बी रिलैक्स्ड. इतना नहीं बंदा जी सकता. यू बिकम बेटर.
Yeah.
हमने लड़ना नहीं है उसके बाद, है ना.
नहीं, I become
ये
better.
नीतीश भाई ये
Like,
काट देना, मतलब ये हमने लड़ना नहीं है. पॉडकास्ट में अच्छा बोलते हैं एक दूसरे के बारे में, ठीक है. बाद में लड़ लेंगे, ओके. हाँ तो बट या, सो योर टर्न नाउ. लाइक आई मेड इट वेरी लाइक ब्रीफ एंड प्रिसाइज.
that's very brief. Very interesting.
ਵਧੀਆ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰੀ.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. There are lots of things. Yeah, like I always say this. I think I've said it on this podcast many number of times that you're a crash mat. Like, you know, you're like
क्रैश मैट.
crash mat तो बहुत सही चीज होती है कि अगर गिर रहे
तेरे
हो
लिए
तो
सही है, मतलब क्रैश मैट के लिए सही चीज नहीं होती कि वो क्रैश मैट है.
कि
No, I'm just
मतलब कि
kidding.
like basically landing is going to be soft. Like I also feel like I feel like I also had constantly had this syndrome which you
Imposter syndrome. इंग्लिश है ना, तुझे याद नहीं हुआ होगा.
What?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter.
बाया.
Imposter.
यार मेरी सॉक्स फटी हुई हैं.
Oh my god. Imposter.
बड़ी देर से देख रहा हूँ मैं.
सुन तो ले. Imposter.
Imposter.
TER.
हाँ यार.
स्पेलिंग भी नहीं आती.
यार अब तुम पढ़े शीशु मॉडल स्कूल से हो तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. नथिंग अगेंस्ट शीशु मॉडल. इज देयर अ स्कूल कॉल्ड शीशु मॉडल?
Don't think.
I'm sure there is. Somewhere in the world there is. Anyways, huh. So I'm a crash mat. Okay. What else?
No, like so I think I constantly had the problem of having self-doubt. I was always in self-doubt. Even when I was coaching, I was constantly in self-doubt because I was just like, am I doing
The right thing.
the right thing? Not even the right thing. Are my clients getting maximum amount of satisfaction or like they're improving? So I think I was always in self-doubt. Also, until Vipassana happened, I feel like I was in self-doubt. And Vipassana only happened because of you. So thank you.
Well,
It happened because of you. You were the medium to
Cholo.
my first
okay.
lesson. So yeah, like I feel like I was always in self-doubt. मतलब अपनी worth इतनी कम थी, and that of course comes from like my past experiences, past relationships or whatever. But self-doubt was very, very low. I always never believed in myself. Didn't think I was good enough. Even while I was good enough, didn't think I was great. Because I remember, like, I'll give you a very small example, which is basically, even when I was doing CrossFit and at my peak, I was not posting my stories because I thought I was not good enough.
Imposter syndrome. You're right.
Yeah, like I
Are you
didn't
even
think I
good?
was good enough. Even when I took decisions here, like at work, I was just like, "अरे मैंने सही किया है कि नहीं किया? Is this the right way to move?" Even like the first day when we opened Zoka and everything was a little teething problems were there. I thought that I was not good enough, and how could the first day be so as per my rule book 101? Why were things not the way they should have been? So yeah, like that obviously like had these like I had those issues, but I feel like you're always there to make sure to like you always tell me koi nahi theek hai, like you're fine. Like I feel like I always needed some validation, and I'm not saying you validated me every time, but I feel like you gave me, like you were always there, that no matter what decision I take you're going to be fine. Like you were there with me. So I feel like just your presence is enough. I don't know.
Oh my God.
ये ज़्यादा हो गया cringe.
बट ये भी एक सिंड्रोम है.
क्या?
इसको कहते हैं पंप सिंड्रोम. ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਪੰਪ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੋ कि बंदा कहे मैं ही रब हाँ. समझ नहीं.
Yeah, like
ये मैंने सीखा है. वेरी गुड फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन, तरन पायलट, द मैन, द मिथ, द लेजेंड, फ्रॉम नन अदर देन सौदल. सोडल, for those of you who know about सोडल. पंप मतलब ਬੰਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਿਸको कहते हैं ना कि ਬੰਦਾ ਮਰ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ, ਮਰੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਗਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਉਹ ਪੰਪ ਦੇ ਕੇ. यार कुछ नहीं, ले ਆਪਾਂ खड़े हैं.
Yeah.
मतलब ये तो मैंने सीखा है, मतलब ये तो मेरे खून में है पंप
Yeah,
देना.
so
So I
pump
guess
is,
पंप ही दिया मैंने तुझे.
Yeah, and I feel like the pump is really worked in, like, I feel like I've really channelized that pump in a very good way. So I feel like
So thank you Taran, like
thank you Sid and
for
then-
using the pump.
for using the pump. Yeah.
मैं सोचा ही मेरी और तारीफ करोगी, पर चलो
और भी चाहिए
नहीं,
तारीफ.
मजाक कर रहा. But yeah, I understand what you're trying
Yeah.
to say. Also, Veera, I was looking at these fitness trends. I just
Now, also one more thing that I would like to tell you, that you're quite indecisive. Were indecisive.
मैं मेरी तारीफ नहीं करनी इसको.
No, two things you said, two things taken. So
अच्छा पुट्ठा वाला भी हुन मेरा.
confidence and belief and calm. Like, you're very calm. So I feel like that's something that I've taken from you. Like, you don't react too fast. And some things that I absolutely, I mean, also taken from you. I think there are no bad things that you have many irritating habits, but there are only good things to take from you because of like your,
Valentine's Day.
oh my god, you're not letting me talk.
Like this is irritating, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Live, guys. Sorry.
But now I've lost my thought.
I'm very indecisive.
No, not indecisive. Like, you're very also impromptu.
Ooh, yes.
Indecisive and impromptu.
Amazing, right? Two.
The thing that I don't want to be indecisive and
Impromptu मतलब
impromptu is something that I've learned, which means that कुछ भी हो सकता है.
ये लाइफ ऐसे ही है ना, पता थोड़ी है कोई.
No, ऐसी नहीं है. So
लाइफ ऐसे
now
ही है.
it's fine. Now if you tell me that Veera, let's go, I'm like, okay, maybe not.
कल हम गुलमर्ग जा रहे हैं. Shit. Okay, was looking at massive trends of 2024 related to the fitness industry. Guess what came on number 1?
Biohacking.
Biohacking. एक second. So this is the
It's also
definition. Biohacking is the process of improving one's body or mental facilities using diet, exercise, mindfulness practice, technology, or drugs. Like drugs like PEDs, performance enhancing
TRT.
drugs. Also, some people would say like something like ecstasy, the experience, the ayahuasca, all these things make you experience life more.
No,
and
ayahuasca makes you open your third eye.
I don't know about all this. I mean, I'm sure
And
people have had.
psychedelics. So a lot of like people in also, like, this comes from a podcast, are using psychedelics for like trauma.
वो तो that's what it was pretty much discovered for.
Yeah.
But then it got like in the wrong hands. People started to use it recreationally, and yeah, that's why it's banned. But yeah, biohacking. When I say biohacking, or the first thing that comes to my mind is that who's that guy who
Ben Greenfield.
No, Ben Greenfield नहीं वो रहा ना गोरा सा, like he
Okay.
he uses he like what's his name? Can somebody he like he uses millions of dollars per month.
Yeah.
Because he wants to live longer and look
he's
like a
gotten many things done on his
16-year-old,
face.
right?
Yes.
क्या नाम है उस बंदे
मैं
का?
बताती हूँ. Doctor something.
Like मतलब ये कैसी बायोहैकिंग हुई यार? मतलब I don't believe you should basically. This is going against nature, right? Everybody is going to die eventually, no matter what you do, what millions and billions of dollars either you make or spend on yourself. You are going to deteriorate into nothing. So this is something that I feel I mean, yes, improving the quality of life is something you should definitely. क्या नाम है?
ढूंढ रही हूँ.
Anyways, मतलब
Right now I can just see.
नहीं वो है 40-50 का.
हाँ.
लेकिन वो अपने ऊपर इतना करता
Like, I just know what he looks like. He basically has a bum, I think, on his DP.
Has a what?
Like, he's naked, I think. Like his butt, maybe.
That's biohacking for you.
Yeah. I can't find him now, but like we can put him.
Brian
Brian
Johnson.
Johnson.
Brian Johnson.
Did you find the butt?
No, I just found the picture.
Let me just pull him
It's
up.
also started in India as well.
Yeah.
It's been going on for
Is
a
it
while
fine
now.
also?
Biohacking has been going on for a while.
I don't know who he is, but I don't know his name. But yeah, biohacking, if it's improving the quality of your life currently, I think that is something that you should strive for. But that being said, exercise, movement,
Movement.
45 minutes per day, nutrition, and sleep are the biggest biohackers there are. If you're saying, okay, I'm just getting 3 hours of sleep, I'm eating like shit, and I don't work out, but I'm going to do these 10 things, use these different machines, and pop these
Yeah, get
pills.
like red rays
Yeah, I mean, that's not
in
going to
and
happen,
like
right?
wear like blue light blockers at night so that
Right?
it's not going to
I
help.
think it's just a waste of time and money. Anyways, second thing was the wearable tech market explodes. So wearable tech is basically, it started with watches, now it's become a ring. Eventually they said it's going to be a chip.
Yeah.
A chip ingrained in your head or I don't know where. Like they do it with dogs abroad, right? They're injected with a chip, so it's like a GPS thing, you know. This is basically going to tell you everything, like your blood sugar levels to your resting heart rate to your, you know, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Like it can eventually, this could be a good thing where it kind of detects whether you're going to get sick or maybe you have a disease, you know, autoimmune stuff like that. But just imagine if like it कोई short circuit हो गया, मतलब it's in your mind and like zombie apocalypse, man. Don't get injected with a chip, guys. Just stick to a ring, right?
Literally have nothing to
We
say
don't
to
want
that.
zombies in India, please. This is pretty cool. Home gyms thrive post lockdown. So apparently a lot of people want to have equipment at home, which is why also the online fitness industry is booming because people
Yeah.
have weights at home.
There is this person, which I know. I'll tell you his name. Is an Indian.
Does what?
He's made this equipment. What do you call? So it becomes into
Oh, he's not made it. He's imported it from China.
imported it from China. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like a mirror where.
No, not a
Huh.
mirror.
Then?
Wait, I'll show it to you. Sorry,
है कुछ ऐसा?
forgive me. है. मैंने उसका
बनाया
वीडियो देखा.
उसने?
स्टार्टअप है.
एरो लीप की
Here,
बात कर
here.
रहे हो ना आप?
नहीं जी.
हाँ.
So it becomes
मेरा
a
एरो लीप है.
Aerolip है.
ये चाइना से इम्पोर्ट किया, इसने बनाया नहीं है.
Forgive me, guys.
Basically, it's
But he's selling it as he's made
yeah,
it.
exactly. That's what surprises me. It's like a mirror which gives you your workout. It has cables where you can attach different things like pulling, pushing can happen, and those cables adjust to like they can become harder and easier.
Easier. Oh, okay.
It's have you heard of the Lululemon mirror?
Yeah.
It's like
The same
Lululemon mirror but with attached
Pulley
system.
system.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very old and you can get it, guys, get it from China if you want it. And it's not the greatest thing in the world, but yeah. Number 4 is, this is the last thing we'll discuss because I think we're short of time. More mobile fitness apps emerge.
Okay.
A lot of mobile fitness apps, guys. We are also coming up with an app soon. It's under construction, production, whatever you call it, but yeah.
Processing.
But the fact that, I mean, how many fitness apps do you use?
I like watch brand apps
Garmin.
include Garmin.
Okay. What else?
MyFitnessPal.
MyFitnessPal.
And I use Atom, which
Atom.
is not an app. It's a
Technically, it's an app. Like,
it's,
does the same thing as an app. Does it's
Yeah,
a workout where you
yeah.
get your workout from. 3 apps.
3 apps.
I use MyFitnessPal or Carbon, like very
Yeah.
similar stuff. I use Garmin obviously because data sync करना है, पता sleep कैसी हुई है कि नहीं. Then I use I use RP.
RP.
I have used and still use
I even have
apps
used
from
RP.
RP. They have they have a diet app. They have a workout app. What else do I use? That's pretty, I think everybody uses at least 2. Even if you're using just the health wala in your iPhone is also an app.
Correct.
So I think it's right in saying that they have increased, and these days I've seen a lot of like personal trainers online. They are like making their own apps, which is pretty cool. I think it is an easier way to deliver something rather than like spreadsheets. So eventually that is, I think, that's the way going forward.
More professional.
More professional, better service, and it just
Less
makes more sense.
Yeah.
instead of having 5 different apps. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. And if you don't know already, we are going to Gulmarg. And if that makes you happy, subscribe to this channel, share this video with somebody you think will find value for it, or maybe just, a couple of laughs, or just look at us talking not nonsense but good things. So like, share and subscribe because it means a lot.
Same.
Yeah, same. We are going to be doing a post every week on our Instagram page asking questions from you guys, and I'm going to ask them again to you today. What would you like us to talk about? Because we keep talking all the time, but we never know what is in your mind. This is me signing off. Pira, why are you
Bye-bye.
staring at me as if we are not going to Gulmarg tomorrow? There's too
But-
much Gulmarg in this.
But we are going to Gulmarg.
Okay, heart rate increasing. One second. Oh shit.
Please,
I need
Yalla.
to do 3 minutes of
Don't-
deep breathing according to my wearable. Anyways, guys, thank you very much.
Thank
Have
you
a great day, and see you guys soon.